the phone calls. Every once in a while, I'll see some news item or some story or something, and to this day, you still say, damn, I don't say it, damn, I'd like to call Glenn and discuss this, but I think this would have been a great thing for us to debate. It was my job to try and keep the things running, which was not always successful, but he knew that if things went bad, he could always call Ray, and Ray would respond, okay? We always had that sort of thing, and I was, I was a glorified gopher in a lot of situations, but I think it was valuable to him to get things done, things that he didn't want to deal with and didn't have the knowledge of and didn't want to have the knowledge of, and there's just, he wanted his life to go on and do what he was doing, okay? And I took care of the nuts and bolts whenever I could.
About that, and did you, when you were working with Glenn, did you sense how big he was and how big he was going to grow after he passed?
All I had to do was tell you when he went into hospital, and then again when he passed away, his phone exploded. Normally I get 1 or 2 phone calls, and if you phoned Glenn Gould's number, you got me. You leave a message, and I'd call you back and say, okay, basically, what do you want? Okay? And some of those phone calls were ridiculous. Next Saturday night, can he be in Broken Ankle, Alberta? We're going to need a piano player, that sort of thing. Just no recognition of who Glenn was or anything else. It was just they looked in the musicians union and he's listed as a pianist, period. Okay? And it got actually funny because there were certain calls that I would pass on to Glenn, and you should really talk to these people, they have something serious to talk about. But a lot of them were just silly. And so I developed a thing about, my scenario was, okay, Glenn, what they want you to do is push a pink piano down Yonge Street naked while playing Chopin. Just about the absolute most stupid thing, and no one in Glenn wouldn't do it, okay, for no matter what the circumstance, okay? And one time, a fairly major corporation had made some sort of proposal on it, and I said, Glenn, it's one of those Chopin things, And I remember Glenn turning to me and saying, what are they paying? And I said, Glenn, what are you doing here? Come on, this is crazy. You won't do this. And of course, Glenn wasn't going to take Ray Roberts. He'd listen to what I had to say and, what they proposed. But I'm just saying that, he'd do whatever he wanted. And he often did things that were uncharacteristic, shall we say. And he was a paradox. A lot of times, you can't do this, that, the other thing, and then suddenly he'd veer off. When he did the Emperor, okay, he was a stand-in. He was not the original. And somebody at CBC decided to call him and ask him whether he's famous for not, other people had to stand in for him on various occasions, and he played a reverse role. He went in there and of course did a marvelous job. He didn't owe me anything. Okay. In fact, the reverse, I owed him in some ways. And I was always the hired gun. In fact, we spent a fair bit of time trying to hire another Ray Roberts, unsuccessfully. But, there was no, I'm going to be with you forever and you have to, and I was, whoa, slow down. I didn't want that. And even though he had plans for me to become the manager of the Glenn Gould puppy farm on Manitoulin Island, and needless to say, being a city boy, the thought of that did not exactly thrill me.